United States Marines, standing watch as always in the far corners of the world. They may be doing this job of guarding the American Embassy in London. In Iceland, where Marines are still guarding our bases, protecting the vital North Atlantic supply line to Britain and Russia. It may be service in Samoa, enlisting the native men in the Marine Corps Reserve and teaching them the snap and knowledge of a real Marine. In Australia, and there are thousands more at home training for the actions of the coming year. That has been one of the big jobs of the past year, and its importance is being emphasized again by the Commandant, Lieutenant General Thomas Holcomb.
As the challenges of this war grow more intense, the armed forces must expand to meet them. There can be no resting on our laurels. We of the Marine Corps have seen our personnel increase markedly during the 168th year of our history. But no matter what our size may be, or what it may become, we shall remain a relatively compact force, highly trained to perform those duties that have always been ours to achieve. From our recruit depots to our most advanced schools, we are broadening and reinforcing our facilities to cover every kind of war activity that lies in our field, particularly in our own specialty of amphibious operations. It is our determined purpose to give every man the best possible preparation for action wherever his duty may be, on land, at sea, or in the air. In addition, Marine instructors have helped prepare Army and Navy units for amphibious operations in all theaters of the war. On this 168th anniversary, I extend my compliments and best wishes to all Marine Corps personnel. And to our countrymen, I pledge for the Corps that the coming year, while it promises to be the most trying in our history, will find us, with all branches of the United States service, firmly resolved to live up to our great tradition.
The Women's Reserve appeared in February with the slogan, "Free a Marine to Fight." They were determined to learn to drill like old Marines, be as snappy, and then take over any job at any Marine base inside the country that would release a man for combat. Now they are 10,000 strong, still growing, and even the saltiest Marine recognizes the good job being done by the women of the Corps. Quantico, home of the Marine Corps schools and the big training ground for Marine officers. San Diego, the San Diego Marine Recruit Training Base with Paris Island, South Carolina, is turning out thousands of new Marines every 7 weeks. Paramarines, getting here at San Diego the same training that toughened the airborne leathernecks who took part in the Solomons campaigns. Marine Devil Dogs, real ones, are now being trained for combat with the enemy. During the past year, Negroes came into the Corps for the first time. At Montford Point, Camp Lejeune, they are receiving a complete and thorough course in combat training. Marine aviation, training at its bases, was holding up through this year a goal: the feats and bravery of the great Marine fighter pilots of Guadalcanal. Amphibious landing operations. Throughout the years, Marines have pioneered in this type of warfare. In the days following Pearl Harbor, when it became clear we were faced with the greatest amphibious war of all time, the Marines contributed from their long experience and helped train and develop the great amphibious forces now used so widely and so well. Guadalcanal, one of the most glorious and heroic chapters in the history of the Marine Corps. In the air, as well as on the ground. After 5 months of the bloodiest jungle fighting of the war, General Vandergrift and his Marines were relieved by the Army. The issue was no longer in doubt, and the Marines badly needed a rest. There was respect on both sides as the Army came ashore on Guadalcanal. The Marines were glad to see the Army come in and take over the job. Other units of Marines moved north of the Solomons to occupy Funafuti, a small and important island almost on the doorstep of the Japanese-occupied Gilbert Islands. Then the Marines were ready to take part in continuing the job in the Solomons, the taking of Rendova Island and the Munda Air Base. Both were combined operations filled with desperate fighting, and both were conspicuously successful. Marines fulfilled their assigned tasks with skill and bravery. At length, the job was done, and the Marines are off to sea again for more offensives. This is their kind of a war, and Wake Island is not forgotten, nor the graves on Guadalcanal. There is still work to be done, and the Marines will do it.